Afternoon, folks. It's a lovely sunny afternoon. I've just come online because there was an announcement last week for this long-awaited changes to EPC, and I'm not talking about the home energy model, which is going to come later. I'm talking about RDSAP 10. Now, RDSAP 10 means Reduced Data Standard Assessment Procedure, for those who don't know, and this is supposed to be coming on for the last basically 2 years, and it's been delayed with testing and stuff like that, and I've attended a few webinars with Quidos over this, but they've now announced that June the 15th, RDSAP 10 will be released. So what does that mean? Well, it means that the process of doing an energy performance certificate assessment is going to become more in depth. Okay, so they say there's 30 key changes. I'm just going to cover the basics for this little video. What you should be aware of. What does it really mean to the everyday landlord, etc. Well, let's cover the changes first anyway. So the key changes, inclusion of new technologies. Historically, before it might mention you've got solar panels, but that's it. Okay, so it'll include new technologies such as battery storage, photovoltaic diverters, and small-scale hydro. And these can now be recorded and factored into assessments, reflecting their growing presence in the UK homes, providing a more accurate picture of your property's efficiency. They're not that prevalent at the moment. I think I've done an EPC assessment for one property which had electricity provided by photovoltaic cells, and it used to feed. Basically, it can feed off the grid if it needs to, or it can pay back into the grid if it needs to. And the owner said it was really good and it was saving them a lot of money. So that's as much as I know about it, to be honest with you. And at the time, we just noted that it had photovoltaic cells, how many, the angle on the roof, etc., which was all important at the time. But this is now going to be more in depth, more information, and improved data collection. What they mean by this is that rather than saying counting the windows, going, there's so many windows there, all windows must be measured now. So it used to be a fact that, unless you were more than average for glazing, you wouldn't have to measure the windows. You'd just count how many windows there are. If there's more, you have to measure the windows. Now it's saying all windows must be measured rather than estimated for more precise assessments. Another one is roof rooms, which basically is converted loft space. So you convert your loft space to a room-in roof. And these will now require more detailed measurements, including construction types of common and gable walls. So common walls between. So that's a party wall, common wall, what it's made of, etc. And the gable end, what's it made of? Is it a cavity wall? Is it insulated, etc. Next one, additional ventilation options are now included, offering a clearer view of a home's ventilation energy features. So on the EPC assessment, it asks you if there's natural or mechanical ventilation. Mechanical ventilation is more common with heat pumps, etc. Alternative ways of heating the house. This will now be taken into account, the mechanical ventilation. And the next thing is, which is going to be a little bit contentious, well, a lot contentious, I would have thought. Enhanced recommendations. Now, recommendations have always been contentious because it comes out with, you need to do external wall insulation, you need to do internal wall insulation, it costs £14,000, etc. Sky high prices. Well, heat pumps will be recommended more frequently, not just for homes with electric storage heaters, but for any well-insulated property, aligning with the UK's push for low-carbon heating solutions. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Well, they're pushing air source heat pumps rather than ground source heat pumps. Now, ground source heat pumps are more efficient than air source, and I've gone into that in a podcast episode I've done. If you want to hear about that, please have a look through the episode. It's efficiency and property investing. We release a new episode every Monday, and there is an episode on that, so you can have a look at that. So there is a difference between the two, but they're going to start pushing heat pumps now as something that you should do if your house is well insulated, because the house needs to be well insulated for a heat pump to be beneficial. And they go on about there's grants available for this and that and the other. The grants tend to be available if you've got tenants on benefits. Yeah. Apart from that, no, not really available. It might change. Who knows? It might change this. And recommendations for energy improvements will be clearer and better tailored to each property, which is good, I think. Do you think? Comments below, please. Let me know. And then updated assessment factors. And what this means is new energy factors and updated calculation methods will ensure. So they're going to change the calculation method, the algorithm. Well, they've changed it. And it'll ensure EPCs reflect the latest data and align to current UK building regs. Air pressure test results can now be included where available, improving the accuracy of air tightness assessments. And that's, again, it's more for heat pumps, so you can actually make your house basically airtight if you want to. I know I did an EPC assessment for someone 2 or 3 years back, and they'd actually said they could actually make their house airtight. It was that good, the way they'd done the seals on the windows, etc. That's what people tell me. I don't know. And a broader scope and regional updates. So previously the Isle of Man wasn't able to do assessments. Now they can. I don't know what stopped them, but it's the Isle of Man added as a region, allowing assessments there for the first time. So if you live in the Isle of Man, you're now going to get EPC assessments. A new age band for properties built from 2023 forward. So that will capture the changes in building fabric and insulations, changing building regs. So there'll be a new age band in there, which is good, because there has been a massive change there. More accurate carbon and environmental impact. So the inclusion of new technologies and updated data will provide a more precise assessment of carbon emissions and energy consumption, supporting the UK's net zero goals. I know that's a contentious thing, net zero. Some people go, climate change is bollocks. Some people go, it's serious. For me, I've noticed a change in the climate over 50 odd years. I know when I was a kid, we had ice that thick on ponds and stuff like that. You don't get snowfalls anymore, ice like that anymore. So I think for me, climate change it's definitely something happening with that way. But again, a contentious issue in there, and I know that some people don't believe in climate change, but you're wrong. Sorry, you are. So it's going to be more accurate with including these new technologies, etc. So it's all, again, wind turbines, hydro, heat pumps, etc. And advanced data collection methods. So this is a big change for assessors. This will use new tools, and what they're saying by new tools is new algorithm. It's a whereas you could use a paper sheet before. I just recorded on a paper sheet. Now it's pretty much all online on a tablet, and you just put the information in. You take the photo; it's instantly uploaded. So what they're going to, the new tools and photographic evidence is to get rid of these drive-by assessments that do happen. We know they're done. They do no one any favours apart from themselves, I suppose. If the assessor gets audited now, maybe you can fudge around it, I don't know. I've been audited a few times, and it's a pain in the backside to get audited. You don't want it. They ask you all sorts of questions. Even when you say you're right, they sometimes say you're wrong. But don't get me on that one, by the way. I had an issue with an auditor who told me that he was retrofitted insulation, cavity wall insulation on the property I just assessed. And I said, where? And he pointed out random holes on a wall, which made no sense at all. They've been where pipes had come out. And even though I provided photographic evidence of other walls, which there was no holes where the insulation had been put in, I was still told to change the EPC. Wasn't happy about it. Wasn't right. But you do. It's one of those things. That's why I'm taking a step back from doing EPCs now. It's too much hassle. So they're going to take this photographic evidence and support new data entries and going to make it less. You'll be less able to fiddle it, basically, I suppose, is the answer. And it's, allegedly better. So that's a basic overview. So what does it mean for you? Not a huge amount at the moment, to be honest with you. the issues that EPCs will come in the future with the home energy model, not with this thing. This is more impact on the way the assessor does it, does the assessment. It will impact you if you're getting drive-by assessments done, and yeah, I'm not saying all of you do that, but there is a small minority that does. It will make it more accurate, yeah, totally agree. It will increase the cost of an assessment, because if the assessor's got to spend more time there, he's going to charge you more. And a lot of assessors are dropping out the industry because of the changes, and it's become so much more complicated to do. And the money's not there. You know, people are undercutting, charging 30 quid for an EPC assessment for say a flat or a 2-bed house. It's not even worth doing the assessments for that these days. So there'll be a drop off of assessors, in my opinion. I've spoke to quite a few, and they've said, "Had enough. That's it. We're walking away from it." And because people are spending more time there, there'll be an increased cost anyway. We haven't told whether the RD SAP will incur an increased lodgement fee yet, so I don't know about that side. But obviously, supply and demand, if there's less assessors and demand's still there, then they will be able to charge more. So expect an increase in costs. Anyway, that's a little brief overview of what's happening on June 15th. Put it in your diary. It's not the big thing. It's not the home energy model. That's the one that's going to have the major effects in the future. That's actually a totally new way of doing it, doing the assessment. This is something that's been touted for the last 2 years. Should have been launched 2 years ago, and they just delayed and delayed and delayed because of problems with testing. It's here, though, from June the 15th. So hope you found that useful, informative. Please listen to my podcast. I don't think I do an episode on heat pumps, air source and ground source. It's efficiency in property investing, available on Amazon, Apple, Spotify, etc. I'll put the Apple and Spotify links down in the comments below, because Facebook doesn't like the algorithm if I stick them up in the description. So please have a listen, give us a like, subscribe, share. Free to share. Means costs you nothing to share. Means a huge amount to me, and I'm grateful for all that support. So have a great Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your Easter Sunday. Keep moving forward.